it's and I get many times when people say, I have to get back to real life right now, like something bad's just happened. I understand that stuff, but when you try and separate the two, then you kind of cause a rift where you're thinking of like, okay, this is my job, and then this is my streaming job, and you
Right.
have to take it seriously in order to get anywhere. And if you're still riding the fence between, is this, this is my gaming life, this is my real life, you need to come together and say, like, this is going to be my life. I'm going to make it my
Exactly.
life. My life is
It doesn't mean you have to give up everything, that you
no,
do
you
and
don't,
you do now to focus just on gaming. But you can also, you know, game while still having the other part of your life. Just don't separate it. Don't make, yourself into two people. You gotta show who you are fully, or they won't, they won't appreciate the show. You gotta open
right.
up. So, what's your favorite game?
This is a question I knew you were going to ask, so I prepared for this one.
Hola, Rachel,
There,
and gracias for the host.
thank you. Um, I got to break this down into two categories. I have a favorite game, and then I have favorite game series. My
Ah, good
favorite
one.
game of all time, right? My favorite game of all time is probably Fallout New Vegas. That is my favorite game of all time. And people are going to say, what about all the rest of the Fallout? Well, that's where it becomes the series thing. I love Fallout the series, but my favorite game in general is Fallout New Vegas. And I also have a few other series in there where I'm very that are right up there at the top. So my first real series game that I got into was Dynasty Warriors,
Oh
and I've
wow.
been
Oh
playing
yeah.
it. I've,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
I've
talked
been
about that
playing
last
Dynasty
night.
Warriors. Right, I've been playing it since like 1998. So it's that's near and dear to my heart. And if anybody tells me, one of them is no good, it's like, you just bashed on my favorite series, man. Like you've ruined me inside. But two other series that I really enjoy is Grand Theft Auto. I've been a big fan of the Grand Theft Auto series. Not taking multiplayer completely out of it. We're just talking story right now. And a platformer, Sly Cooper. I
Haha.
was a big fan of that game, and
I
I
love
still
Sly
am.
Cooper.
And
Love
I
Sly
do too.
Cooper.
And I get I get saddened when I hear that they're not gonna make another one. It's like,
Oh, they're
oh, come
not?
on, we really want it. No, they're probably not going
Oh,
to.
that
It's
sucks. I did not
I
know
know.
that.
I mean, I understand they haven't sold well since the third one, so I I get their reason behind
But they're
it,
making a movie, right?
but they are making a movie, and I'm super excited for
Yeah.
that. Like I'm more excited for that than anything else.
So, but yeah. Back to Grand Theft Auto. Before the whole online,
GTA,
online thing. Which I did really
right?
good with, because, I was a big fan of it. On PS3. I didn't have a PS4 at the time. But Grand Theft Auto
Right.
has, the story has just always been really detailed. It's always been
Yeah.
really open and, before that was a thing. Grand Theft Auto was always really big games. So, I always liked that. And you could jump in this car, or do this mission, or on the other side of the map, It was always a huge game with a very deep story.
Yeah, their stories have always been extremely compelling, I think. You know, I recently got the trilogy version of Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand
I
Theft
don't
Auto
even know they
3
had
Vice
that.
City. Yeah, it's on the PS4 as a PS2 uh, buy, and I got it just because I was I had to do it. It's one of those games that I even have the games and I still bought it. It's crazy on my end, but I wanted to play them again, so I played all through GTA 3, and the story still to this day keeps me extremely entertained. The voice acting sometimes terrible. The some of the actors running around. I mean, it's like you hear the same stuff over and over again from male or
Yeah.
female. It doesn't really matter. But the story still kept me there. And now that I completed it, I ran off to GTA Vice City, and I can see the just like progression. Vice City just has an even more compelling story than the other one. I'm glued to it. I want to know what happens. I do mission after mission, just wanting to. I already know. I already know what's going to happen because I've beaten it so many times. But I got to do it. I can't sit down and stop. It's that one game you can't stick away from. And I think as time has progressed, GTA has consistently made a really good story over and over and over again. Now with multiplayer, I know everyone's into that, and I like multiplayer. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still a story-based person. I come from the generation of where we had great
Right.
RPGs,
My favorite
where
game
we
was
had adventures, and
Final Fantasy 4, I
oh yeah,
believe. When it the one with Cecil and like the Paladin and the Dark Knight and whatever. One of the very first ones.
right.
And that's always my all-time favorite. Graphics are crap, but the story was just awesome. You know?
The, Yeah, I mean, and Final Fantasy is one of those games that has stood the test of
Oh
time.
yeah.
They've been around forever, and they continue to impress people. Games coming out, they'll have an E3, they'll be at the E3 conference, and they'll show the trailer, and everybody's up out of their seats, like, here, it's the new Final Fantasy, and it's just no open to many sequels. It's always like, why don't they just? Where's the game? We're waiting for it.
There's a question for you from Vale. Which
Here
games
I
from
see
well
them.
back, wait, way back would you like to see redone? Or made more of?
Hmm. It's a good question. There's been so many games that they've made remakes of recently, and before they started making remakes just left and right, I could have named you 20, but now some of the games, like they redid all the Resident
Yeah.
Evils, all of them. That was one of the games I wanted to see remastered, and they did it. So I can't say I'd like to see it remastered because it's already done. I wanted to see all the GTA games remastered. They did it. It's like, great. Cool. I can't say I want to see that anymore because they've done it. I think in terms of a game, though, I would like to see Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro the Dragon
I
was
would like to see
awesome.
the two of them. Right. I'd like to see the two of them make some really good remakes. And I know Spyro the Dragon's still going. He's never ending. Crash is done, but Spyro continues on in his own little world.
I remember
So
when we had a hurricane one year, and I went to my Aunt Gloria's house, and all she had was a PS1, and the only game she had was Spyro the Dragon 2. and I played that game. And I beat that game like 10 times in 2 weeks. Just over and over and over.
And that's funny because that makes you appreciate the game so much more.
Yeah.
You know, I did that with an old game called Tomba,
Oh,
Tomba 1 and Tomba
I
2.
love Tomba.
I did that
Oh
same
my
thing.
god.
I played it. I beat it probably 9 times.
Wow.
But I could still sit down today and beat
I
it
love
again.
Tomba. The funny story,
I like it.
I had forgot the name of Tomba one time. That was a PS1 game. And you know the PS2
Right.
was backwards compatible. I wish they still did that, but I was
Right.
I was talking to Val because again we had a hurricane and I had lost my PS1 and I lost all my games. And there was one game which was Tomba, but I couldn't remember the name of it. So I told Val about it because that was my wife. I told her about it so
Right.
much, and I gave her like every possible detail I could about that game without mentioning the name, because I couldn't remember it. Next thing I got it for Christmas,
Right.
and I played that thing. I don't know how much, so many hours. I just love Tomba. Tomba was amazing, and it still
It
is.
was a really good.
It's still one of my
Yeah.
favorite all-time games.
You got a question for
Oh, Ray
Rachel that
Traffic,
says, yeah, just one game that every gamer should play. I'll let you answer that one first.
one game every
One
gamer
game
should
that you
play.
think everybody
If I had to pick, it'd be for Nintendo. Secret of Mana. One of my all-time favorites.
Ooh, that's a good. If I had to pick one game that I think everybody should play, I would have to go with Mass Effect.
Oh,
That's the game I would like everybody to play
I never
because
played Mass Effect. Like any of them.
if
Really?
it is one game I would say you have to
I'll have to
play
check that out.
because the first 1, 2, and even 3 wasn't as good, but I mean the first 2 the stories were very compelling and they'll make you cry. I mean they will make you cry. You'll get that ingrained into the characters.
I remember another game, and I'm gonna get some hate from Lost Pie about this. But another game I liked, and I got Val into it, was Lost Planet. I loved that game.
Oh yeah.
You ever played those?
I haven't played the Lost Planets, but you mention it because I've been playing I've been doing the PS Now recently, and they've got all the Lost Planets on there.
Oh, what'd you
so
think of
I'll
it?
probably pick it up.
What'd you think of
I
PS
haven't
Now?
touched it yet. Oh, PS
Yeah.
Now? I love PS Now.
Really?
I'm here to tell you, I love it. Yeah, I like the ability to sit down and be able to stream any game I want without having to download it. Now, I know the actual like how many games are available is still fairly small right now. It's only like 400. But yeah, I love it because there's so many games in there that I did not get to play when they first came out. And I get to go back and play them again. Or there's some games that I just really like that I get to go back and play. So it's
Yeah, the
really
Mega
fun
Man
to me. Like
series.
the entire God of War series.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Mega Man series.
God of War, oh my god.
Yeah,
God of War
all the
4.
God of War on there.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, a lot of people excited for the God of War 4. The trailer for E3 looked really exciting.
Yeah, it looks amazing.